you, so I'm going to say that this is a pretty generous model, right? This model, we think that from what you guys have said, maybe the casualties will probably be higher, right? They might be a little lower if the water was lower, but generally speaking, this sort of accepts that human behavior is perfect, right? Which we know it's not going to be. And we didn't even think about things like not everyone can walk at a fast pace, right? How many people have babysat little kids? What if you had a 2-year-old and a 5-year-old with you, right? Or you fell down and twisted your ankle really bad playing soccer or football or track or something, right? And you were hurt. So, or in a wheelchair, or you were elderly or something like that. There's a lot of scope of people that might not be able to go at a fast walk. And there's fewer people who are going to be track stars and be able to run out at really high pace, right? So when somebody tells you my model predicts something, one of the things you should ask them is, what's your assumption? What are your assumptions? Because you can't model the infinite complexity of nature. You have to put assumptions in it because a computer model can't run, or any model isn't 100%. So just think about that and ask them to be thoughtful. We can still say that this model gives us a pretty good idea, right? That it's going to be not such a good place to be. Seaside's not going to be a good place to be, right? We know that. You can accept that, even though we know there's probably some inaccuracy. All right. But we also know this is going to be a problem. So we wanted to start doing some physical modeling in Seaside to see, well, how fast would the water go? What would some of the forces be? So we built a 1 to 50 scale model. So in this model, we're modeling what we call the macro roughness, or how the big buildings in Seaside affect the wave, not how the wave affects them. Because at 1 to 50 scale, it's too small. The building, you can't get good strength out of wood. Does that make sense to you?